This is a complete breakdown for my Stray Kids x Shiu Kong video. And if you enjoy my breakdown videos, I'm hoping to start a Patreon later this year to have more of those, so stay tuned. Shiu from Jujutsu Kaisen is Korean, and he was inspired by Gege's interest in Ma Dong-seok, as well as Korean pop culture. So I wanted this cosplay reboot video to have some K-pop in there. And initially, I had God's Menu saved for a concept video that I had planned last year, where I blended the characters of Lloyd Forger and Nanami Kento into one epic cosplay, and it did not translate well into real life. So the song, which was really good for videos, was just sitting in my brain all this time. And then I realized that it would be the perfect song for this character because number one, people love Stray Kids, and so it's going to attract a whole different audience. Number two, it has a fantastic build up to get you excited, and then it leads to this kind of slower, dark build-up, which is very anticipatory, great for B-roll. And then three, the release is very masculine, aggressive, and infectious. Okay, so we have the character, we have the music. How do we actually bring it to life? I was genuinely pacing around my house on and off for like 2 or 3 days, trying to envision how I even wanted to film this. And I had 3 areas of worry: the introduction and the transition, making the character unique, and incorporating the music. And eventually I decided that the interlude should be dark and mysterious. It would give bits and pieces of the character. It's giving music video, it's giving visual. I decided to go with a rotation vibe, treating it like it's an unlockable character. He's mysterious. Who is he? And coincidentally, rotating solved the problem for my introduction and the transition. I knew that I wanted to reference the choreography in the beginning, but I was having trouble trying to figure out how I would transition from a really poor representation of the dance to a very serious and dark shot. But if I just continue rotating, speed ramp, keyframe some lighting and color adjustments, things will blend together pretty smoothly. So now we have our intro, the transition, and a vague concept of the interlude. How do we finish this video and what message are we trying to give? When I make videos, I change the focus on the thing that I'm trying to portray. Sometimes I'm chasing the VFX, other times I'm trying to do a story or a skit. Times like these, I just want a visual. I want something that looks good and feels good. Some people are asking, why did you even cosplay this character? He has 2 minutes of screen time. That's the fun of being a videographer and a content creator. You take something small and so insignificant like an anime character, especially a character that barely had any screen time, and you just make something big and dramatic and cool. But since he had very little to work with, I was unsure of how to make him unique, how to really embody him. Because every other JJK character has cursed energy, a technique, something really unique to them. And that unique thing can often add a wow factor or some flavor to your editing. Even Ijichi has barriers and Kusukabe has his simple domain. And that's where smoke came in. I recently borrowed the smoke machine from my friend to work on a different character who also used Stray Kids as the music, and this character should be released soon. And that was my first time working with smoke. It was very fun, but it's very frustrating and fickle. Smoke can be a little bit hard to control and hard to predict. And since I had the machine, I thought this is how I can give him aura. This is going to be his ability, his visual effect, his thing. And funny story, for most of the shots, I kept missing this smoke. By the time I put the machine down and got ready, the smoke had dissipated, so things weren't as dramatic as I wanted. However, I still think it worked out because at the very end, I was covered in smoke, and I felt like narratively it worked out really well. It's giving conclusion. Alright, going back to the rest of the video, when I was brainstorming how to transition going from the slow build up to the breakdown, I thought, what if I run with this idea that this video is meant to be a visual, break away a bit from characterization and cosplay, and allude back to the choreography. So I took chunks from the choreography, which had some really nice lines, and used them as accents. Do. I also made sure to film each shot with a little bit of body movement, and in post I keyframed in some camera shake and some zooming. And when you're watching it, your brain's not going to process, oh, he rotated the camera 3 degrees and he zoomed in 5% and he shook the camera for 5 frames. But you're going to understand that it feels good to watch. It's nice when the clip interacts with the rhythm of the music, so it's like you're truly engaging with the edit. Here's a before shot, and then here's the after with all the bells and whistles. At first, I was really worried that nobody would understand that I was referencing the choreography and that I was just doing really weird body movements, and I was wondering if that would throw people off and make them confused. But then I reasoned with myself, if I make it look cool enough, it doesn't matter. You don't need to understand what's happening to enjoy how it looks. And once I had this all figured out, I realized that would be the abrupt stop to this all. You're rotating, you're slowly revealing bits and pieces of this character, and boom, there's this crispy close-up, straight on. You have that mysterious smoke going, the character is grinning, showing excitement. But even with a static shot, I still try to have movement. That way the audience can still feel the rhythm, it's still a visual experience, and you still feel involved. It's like you're up and down. And going back to the very, very beginning, movement is also why I manually keyframe the camera movements in the introduction. The rest of the shots in the video served as a reveal for the character, so I had a bit more even lighting, and I also threw it back to the character's iconic moments, if you will. I always had a feeling that green would be his color. It complemented his earth tones in his suit, as well as the olive green tie that he wears. And it also helped to make his hair pop, which was very tedious and I was very proud of, and it's kind of the highlight of this character when translating it into real life. So I wanted to make sure that we got a little bit of a better shot of that to fully appreciate all the work that went into everything. I threw in the typing scene because it was attractive. Whenever Shiu Kong was on screen, I thought he was just a normal guy. He was working, he was trying to make money. When other people saw it, they saw someone that they were attracted to. They saw all these little details. Oh my gosh, his hands are so nice. He's so attractive when he's frustrated. And they managed to characterize him a bit more, break down his patterns and his habits. And so seeing a bunch of edits in the way people talked about Shiu Kong made me rethink how to view the character. So now things like simply typing become a way to express his actions and his mood. And since this was very heavily a visual and focusing on the beats, my first plan was to have every single beat have a different shot. The do was going to all be different clips. But when I thought about it, I really did not like the idea of using up all these clips that took me forever to film within the span of 2 seconds, when I could use them for other videos as well. So I ended up using jump cuts of the same shot. That way you still get that rhythm, you still get that feeling while using a third of the footage. So I had my hand tapping and I added that to the beat. And then for the next shots, which were a bit more aggressive, I not only added jump cuts, but I added some zooming to give it a bit of an impact. I was very proud of this video. I think it's really funny that lately some of my videos that have been popping off have been side characters that nobody cares about. The quality has been so good for Kusakabe and for Ichichi and now for Shiu Kong. It just happened to be that when I was cosplaying these characters, I experienced some growth as an artist as well. The only thing I was mad at overall outside of this is that I failed to really think of cool concepts for Shiu before I started filming. So as I was filming, it was late at night, I was really tired. I only had like 2 or 3 concepts made. It wasn't until I washed my hair, got out of cosplay and shaved that I started to get all these cool ideas on how to make content for this character. I could lean into the money issues or lean into having money, him being a babysitter drama, having a best friend that's a meathead, but I didn't film that stuff. I'm probably not going to cosplay him again. I'm just a human and I can't do it all, but I can do some of it.